As we continue here on From the Press Box to Press Row, and I got a special guest on the line. We're joined by a woman who, of course, you've seen her on TV and in the movie theaters and pictures such as Independence Day and Set It Off and Soul Food and Kill Bill as well. Of course, she has a role in the new series, Mr. Box Office. She plays the role of Cassandra Washington, as we are joined by the one and only Vivica A. Fox. Vivica, welcome to From the Press Box to Press Row.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanksgiving is certainly right around the corner. What are your plans?
Wow, you're right. Thanksgiving is approaching so quickly this year. I swear, the years keep going by faster and faster. But I do have really fun plans this year. I am headed to Atlanta to be with my family at my brother Marvin's house. And I'm taking my little godson, Christian, and his parents to meet my family.
Okay, sounds like a good time in the A. And again, I mentioned all of the pictures that you've done and some of the great things you've done. I want to first off talk about Mr. Box Office and the role that you play in terms of Cassandra Washington. Talk about this role and who is Cassandra Washington.
Absolutely. Mr. Box Office, which is a sitcom that's now on every Saturday, is executive produced by Byron Allen, starring Bill Bellamy, John Lovitz, Tim Meadows, Rick Fox, Tony T. Roberts, Essence Atkins, Alex Thomas, and myself. And as you said, I play Cassandra Washington, who is the sexy cougar teacher. And basically the storyline is Bill Bellamy plays like a big movie star who punches out paparazzi and gets sentenced to do community service at a high school in South Central Los Angeles. And that's how he connects with all of our characters at the school.
And talk about, being able to, you mentioned the cast. Talk about being able to play with, in this, certainly the role that you play with such an all-star cast.
Wow. Well, I'm really proud of Byron Allen, to be honest with you, because sitcoms were just kind of dead in the water there for a moment. And he not only has our show on, but he has another show on called First Family. And they've got an all-star studded cast as well, too. But what the beautiful thing is that Byron gets, like you said, a large cast, gets us together, and lets us all have fun together on a sitcom. And I love playing Cassandra Washington. As I said, she's a sexy cougar teacher. And I just get to come in with the boys and have fun and tell jokes and make people laugh. And we're really hoping to bring sitcoms back.
You're right. With so much reality TV, and I want to talk with you, more about that. The fact that sitcoms are coming back. This is obviously a first series that's in first run syndication, which is huge. And Byron Allen has done some great things. How much is Cassandra Washington like Vivica A. Fox?
That's a good question. Because I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little hard for me because every show they always make sure I got on something tight and right. So it's a little bit different for me. I definitely take care of myself and try to keep my image intact. But I'm not one to always throw my assets literally in your body the way that Cassandra does. Cassandra is so in love with herself. And she doesn't mind letting Bill Bellamy know that she's got a thing for him. And she's just very comfortable with her sexuality. And I'm flattered by that, to be honest with you, that they see a woman that's in her 40s as still attractive, and they're always talking about how fine Cassandra is. So I love that, and I'm very flattered by it.
That is the voice of the one and only Vivica A. Fox, who joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. And Vivica, talk about you've been able to maintain your relevancy, throughout Hollywood and in TV series and, of course, in movies. Talk about how you've been able to do that. And I want to take you back. I'll take you back momentarily to a show that I was enjoying that came on NBC back in like the early 90s, Out All Night.
Yes, back in the day. You can say it. It's all right. You're right. I have been around a long time. And, I discovered a long time ago the key to longevity is having versatility. I don't limit myself. I do movies. I do television shows. I host reality shows. I do stage. I'm in branding. Now I have my own hairline. So it's all about having versatility and expanding the brand of Vivica Fox and keeping it updated and keep it current and reinventing yourself and not being afraid of new chapters. I think what happens is sometimes people, they get famous for doing one thing and they don't know how to reinvent themselves and just explore new horizons and not be afraid to explore new horizons. You can only play the young ingenue for so long. You can only play one, certain type of characters for so long. But if you have versatility, you can find new adventures and new projects to always reinvent yourself and stay in the game.
Certainly. I mean, you're no stranger to playing with all-star casts. I mean, you look at Independent Day, you look at Set It Off, you look at Soul Food. We're talking about Mr. Box Office. And as you mentioned, I'm going to take you back in the day and talk about Out All Night. I mean, Morris Chestnut and Patti LaBelle and Dwayne Martin. And I really was enjoying that show. I believe it came on NBC. Talk about that and being able to, really, I guess, gain a lot of notoriety in playing in a show such as that.
Well, that was the beginning, to be very honest with you, where a lot of people kind of discovered Vivica Fox. Unfortunately, the show was canceled. It was a little bit short-lived, but then it went on to play, in reruns and stuff like that. I loved working with Patti LaBelle as her daughter. She was just such a jewel. And then working with Dwayne Martin and Morris Chestnut, who I then went on later to do Two Can Play That Game with. And I'm still friends with all of them. And every once in a while, we all get together and work again and support each other's businesses. Dwayne Martin has now opened up this fun restaurant with his beautiful wife, Tisha Campbell Martin, called Zen Lounge. So everyone's evolving. Recently, Jada and Will Pickett and Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, they do a wonderful luncheon for the First Lady, Michelle Obama. And we're all still supporting each other, evolving with one another. But really, Out All Night started it all. So I've been able to grow from there and still have wonderful relationships pretty much with all of my cast members that I've worked with, mainly starting with Out All Night.
Of course, the beautiful Vivica A. Fox joins us here on the program. And, of course, a couple of weeks back, Vivica, you were really involved in terms of getting people out to vote, early voting, et cetera, and of course, President Obama being reelected. Just kind of your thoughts on being involved in that and the reelection of President Obama.
Yeah, man. I met President Obama at a fundraiser. I was very fortunate with my manager, Lita Richardson. It was on her bucket list that she wanted to meet Obama. So we went to a fundraiser here in Hancock Park in Los Angeles. And when I met the president, I just told him I support you 150%. And he said, hey, well, you should campaign for us. And I said, absolutely. And next thing I know, I was watching the 3 debates and tweeting the whole time. And they got in touch and they said, wow, you're really involved with this. And I said, well, we have to be involved because if we don't pay attention, we're going to get tricked into another administration taking over. So they said, well, do you mind getting out on the road, helping campaign, rocking the vote with us? I said, absolutely. So I was very fortunate that I went on the road with my publicist, B.J. Coleman, Chanel Iman, Leah, some supermodels, Will.i.am, and we went out there to Ohio and stood in line and passed out donuts and coffee and in Ohio, which we won, yay, and let people know that how much it was important for them to stand in line, even though the lines were very long, that we appreciated that they were paying attention because, see, they thought that we weren't going to be as enthusiastic and as eager as what we were the first election. They thought that that was a fluke. Not only did President Obama get reelected, he won Ohio, he won the popular vote by more than 3 million, but he needed 4 more years to finish the job that he inherited the worst economy of any sitting president ever. He's a wonderful man with a beautiful wife, a beautiful family. So I felt very, very thrilled that I was involved with him being elected, and I was on the floor at Barack Obama headquarters in Chicago when they announced his reelection. And it is something I will never forget for the rest of my life.
No question about it. And earlier you mentioned, reality TV and some of the sitcoms and it seems like we're seeing more, maybe not sitcoms, but more dramas kind of coming back to television, and you still have the reality TV, and you've mentioned being versatile and trying to be a part of all of it. But how important is it for you for sitcoms to come back? We talked about Out All Night, which is really where you got your start, and of course, playing in Mr. Box Office. How important is it for you to see sitcoms now coming back?
Baby, everybody is employed again. Thank you, Jesus. Because for a while there, I was like, hey, where did all the jobs go? And reality, it was cheap to produce. It was really popular, and it worked, But thank God Tyler Perry started doing what is called, like you said, shows that they get syndications. Like Mr. Box Office, we're bought for over 90 episodes, which is beautiful. But we're shooting 2 episodes a week. And so there's a different format. I think what happened was that sitcoms got so expensive to produce with the salaries and things of that nature that they said, you know what, we're going to try a different thing. And this is what you have to learn also in a business, show business. Everything gets a turn. Sitcoms get a turn back in the day with Bill Cosby and things of that nature. And then that kind of went on a style. Then you get your Grey's Anatomies and things like that then have a turn. Then reality has had its turn. So now it's good to see sitcoms and dramas making a comeback and getting their turn again. And for shows for people to understand that, actors need to work as well too, and that scripted reality is basically scripted as well too. So everything kind of gets a turn. I've learned not to hate. If they're having a turn right now, I just learned to host them. I host the Jersey Licious reunion specials and Big Rick's Texas reunion specials, and you just figure out a way to fit in that to me isn't detrimental to me as an actress and to my craft.
Wrapping it up with Vivica A. Fox as she joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. What other things, Vivica, do you have in the works? What's next for you?
Oh my God, are you trying to give me another job? I don't need that woman. I have 2 shows on the air right now. I'm very fortunate that I'm the host of Prank My Mom, which is on Lifetime every Tuesday at 10 p.m. People are really loving seeing basically moms getting punked. But what we do is we put moms' loves to the test, and we prank them. And so that's on every Tuesday night on Lifetime, Prank My Mom. And then Mr. Box Office, as you said, is on every Saturday and Sunday. Check your local listings, folks, because in California it's on the CWs, but in other places it's on different networks, different times, but it is on every Saturday and Sunday. Mr. Box Office, executive produced by Byron Allen, co-starring Bill Bellamy, Tim Meadows, John Lovitz, Rick Fox, Essence Atkins, Tony T. Roberts, and Alex Thomas.
And, of course, Vivica A. Fox. And
I have my own hairline, so thank you, girlfriends, for supporting the Vivica Fox hair collection, too. And I got some independent films that are going to be dropping. I know, you asked what's going on, and there you have it.
There you go. That's it. And then finally, being out in L.A., and I don't know, what are your sports interests? Are you following the Lakers and the whole D'Antoni deal with the new hiring of him as the coach, or what are your sports interests?
Absolutely. I love basketball. I love sports in general, and I was totally involved. I was really hoping that we would get Phil Jackson back, but unfortunately that didn't work out. So we'll see how the new coach works out. We wish him well. The guys seem to be playing and blending a lot better since the unfortunate firing of the coach. I felt really bad for the brother that, he lost his job, but it just wasn't something that worked out. With the other coach, what's his name?
Mike Brown. Yep.
Sorry.
Sure.
Yes, Mike Brown. Sorry to forget his name.
Sorry.
But it just didn't seem like it was a good fit. And then the Clippers are doing fantastic. They're gelling, and it seems like they kind of took the old Lakers team. They got Lamar on there, and what's Matt Barnes over there.
That's right.
So, LA is having an exciting time, having 2 basketball teams, the Clippers and the Lakers. So we'll see who ends up being the king of LA when it comes to basketball, because the Clippers are looking really good.
You're right.
And as far as football, what are we, more than halfway through the season? And we see Atlanta Falcons almost undefeated. They're 7-1, and the Texans, they're only have lost 1 game, and
That's right.
The Patriots, who are not my favorites, they're looking pretty good too. And I love sports, so we'll see.
Excellent. Well, of course, check her out in Mr. Box Office. She plays the role of Cassandra Washington. She's a star of film and television. She is the one and only Vivica A. Fox, and she joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. Vivica, great to catch up with you, and we'll talk with you real soon.
Absolutely. And to all your listeners out there, I just want to wish everybody a very, very happy and safe Thanksgiving. God bless you guys, and thank you so much for always supporting me.